I used to have several sites. Now I kind of like the grower's edge. It gives me that cash max. You can tell it which markets you're looking for, and it will tell you what your highest net back is based on the price they're paying at that time and the basis that they're paying. And that's pretty handy because I don't have to go to so many different sites.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name's Cody Bills. Today is Friday the 17th. For the weekly wrap-up, we're going to talk about the cash changes here, but before we get into that, let's turn over to the grain hedge trading platform and see where we closed off the week. Corn trading up 3.5 cents on the day, soybeans up 1 3/4 cents on the day, and wheat in Chicago down 2 3/4 cents here on the day, continuing its slump this week. Wheat, what we've seen is precipitation move into the plains region, which has been so dry, actually dealing with drought in that northern panhandle, western part of Oklahoma. Well, we saw some precipitation move in there this week, and it looks as though 80% of that wheat belt there is going to be covered in or covered by the precipitation this weekend. So all of this is putting a little bit of pressure, continuing to put pressure on the wheat market prices. Let's take a look at the daily charts here, just kind of see where we are at the close of the week. You'll notice corn moved down to the low side of the range, found some support, and for the better part of the week has rebounded here into the middle part of this overall trading range. Keep in mind that we do have the 20 and 50-day moving average. That's very possible that we get up around those levels here next week. If we do, they could offer up a little bit of support, so just do keep that in mind. When you look at soybeans for the May contract, you'll notice that really over the last 3 days, we've kind of struggled around this 20-day moving average and this overhead resistance level. Keep in mind that we have had nice fundamental news. Not only did we have the largest March crush number, 162 million bushels crushed there for March, beating last year by a significant amount, which was the previous March record. But we also have strong export sales. This week's export sales came in on the high side of analyst expectations, actually beat analyst expectations significantly with over 300,000 metric tons sold. So that was very positive to see. When you look at this, it is possible that we break out to the upside through these resistance levels, but just be cautious because they have played an important role here over the last 3 days. And when you look at Kansas City wheat, you'll notice that not only have we gone through the lows, but really we have continued to go through the lows. And this just has a lot to do with the fact that there's a lot of global wheat out there. There's just a large amount of global supplies. The drought, which was causing the short covering, really has started to crack a little bit. We've had a little bit of precipitation this week, and that precipitation has kind of eased those crop concerns. It kind of eased the concerns about serious crop damage here to come. So we'll have to see how the precipitation pans out over this week. This weekend, it looks as though there's supposed to be around 80% of precipitation, or 80% of the wheat belt getting touched with some precipitation over the weekend. So we'll have to see if that actually follows through. Let's talk a little bit about the cash market and basis. One thing you'll notice is that this week we had very minimal national average changes. Corn was up less than 1 basis point. We saw soybeans up less than a basis point. One thing to keep in mind is that corn for the Gulf, we actually did see an increase in corn basis by 3 cents. Along the river terminals, we were up 2 cents here this week. And along the Ohio River, you'll notice that's the green area here. We were up actually as much as 5 cents along that Ohio River. So it looks as though we are seeing some stronger basis along the Ohio River region there for corn. But other than that, it seems as though the basis environment is relatively dull. When you do look at the Ohio River barge rates, you'll notice that we have kind of declined a little bit over the last week. It's barge rates are the blue line here. Those are the current rates. You'll notice over the last week we have declined slightly, but not enough to really cause or trigger this Ohio River basis increase. Keep in mind when we look at soybeans, though, you'll notice on average U.S. basis was up less than a basis point, but we did see some improvements here, particularly crush facilities in Minnesota. We also saw saw some crush facilities in the western part of the Corn Belt improve. That's what's causing some of that green up there with basis improvements over 2 cents. We did see 5 to 10 cent improvements in the western part of the grain belt. So keep that in mind if you're out there selling some old crop soybeans. We did see basis improvements in the western part of the grain belt. River terminals up about a cent there. Other than that, guys, that wraps up today's show. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, please do give the office a call. The number is 877-472-4607. And also, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and take a demo of our trading platform. There's a 14-day free trial. You can go to our website, grainhedge.com, click on the 14-day free trial. You'll be able to download the trading platform. You'll also be able to take a look at the desktop platform. We've got great education to get you up and running quickly. Really, the best part of this is being able to view the live quotes on your mobile phone. So when you're out away from the office and you're on the go, you can keep an eye on where you're at and where your overall marketing strategy is at. So thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you here on Monday.